So episode 5 was dubbed the jaw-dropping episode, and considering it was the mid-season finale, it certainly delivered everything a mid-season finale normally delivers, a jaw-dropping ending. We saw Kanan being arrested, Lulu and Marvin getting into a fight, and Raquel playing her move with planting Scrappy into Unique's organization, but more importantly, us finding out that Detective Howard is the father to Kanan. This episode was everything that the actors hyped it up to be. We had 50 Cent who said that this is going to be the game-changing episode, and now we can see why it's going to be the game-changing episode going into the last half of the season. And there is a mid-season break, which I read the dates wrong yesterday, but it is going to be only one Sunday without power, so it's going to be back within 2 weeks. But we're going to dissect everything that went down in the episode in a bit more detail in this review and recap, and my second video discussing a few of the main key storylines later on this video, so remember to get your comments in for my second video. But of course, if you're new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 3 and Power Universe related. But let's get into the episode, which started a few days after the events that unfolded last week with the stash house being robbed. And if you notice, this episode started with Kanan's blood on a tissue, and it came full circle with the blood on his tissue, which was left at Howard's desk, which turned out to be the jaw-dropping twist. So again, this episode coming full circle. But Raquel giving both Marvin and Kanan a few days to come clean about what happened. She was testing them both, and that's what Raquel does, but both of them failed the test. Kanan stayed loyal to his uncle Marvin, and Marvin being Marvin, he's telling them that he turned into Rambo or some shit, typical Marvin. But this is the issue with this family. If it wasn't made clear already, Raquel and Lulu don't really think highly of Marvin, because he's always fucking up. Raquel said, look, this is our older brother's problem right here. He don't listen. He's always focused on telling a new lie to cover up the old lie, and Raquel and Lulu seriously dig into Marvin here. But this is where Raquel tells us about the chess move that she was going to play. She wanted to know what Unique was doing before he does it. She wanted to get into his head. They weren't going to go into a full war, but they weren't lying down either. So what was her move? She planned Scrappy into Unique's organization because Scrappy is one of Raquel's most trusted soldiers. It was made clear in his character description that he was going to be a trusted soldier to Rack. Jukebox told Kanan that Scrappy would never rat out the stash house because he's a trusted soldier, and Scrappy said it too. This was Rack playing chess with the tussle with Scrap and Kanan to her advantage and planting her right in the middle of Unique's organization, and now she's going to have eyes and ears everywhere. And if you notice the correlation to power, this is exactly what Kanan did with Sean, planting him into Ghost's organization and using him for information. And this is what Raquel's doing. She's going to have eyes and ears in Unique's organization with the use of Scrappy, and she's going to have eyes on the streets from her new spot, which are the 2 new apartments in this block, which she had Darius clear for her because she wanted something on higher grounds. She wanted something where she can overlook everything which was happening on the streets, and if someone was coming for her organization or a stash, whether it be Unique or the police, they were ready, and they could move all their shit down into the chute into the apartment down below and dip before anybody knows they were even there. And this was a smart move from Raquel. She ain't taking any more chances now, and Marvin on the other hand thought Raquel and Kanan were moving up in the place. So let's come back to this conversation at the kitchen table and the events that unfolded after this conversation. We saw Lulu and Marvin get into a fight, and this was the teaser that Raising Kanan stars released yesterday morning, and a lot of secrets were spilled in this heated conversation between Lulu and Marvin, where Lulu basically told him he fucks up every time because of the stash house being hit. Lulu said that Duke's mom was taken by a Knicks player, and with Marvin then telling Lulu that Jessica was all up in Crown, with him being pissed that Jukebox is in the studio after overhearing a conversation with Famous, and now the cracks are beginning to show in this Thomas family. I warned in one of my previous videos that we've seen it before with Ghost and Tommy, who have grown up together and ended up almost putting each other in a body bag, and this is something that's been brewing since the very first episode, because we know Marvin used to be the leader of this organization but doesn't have the smarts. Marvin's ideas are brushed aside, and he's not even been put in the charge of the stash house anymore, which Raquel thinks is the lowest job. He's now been put in the charge of doing the reconstruction work in this apartment because she doesn't want him fucking up any more shit. But you can bet this isn't the last we've seen of this. Sure, they'll fight, sure they'll make up, and that's how me and my brothers do, but this involves rep, money, drugs, life and death, and Lulu even mentioned that he doesn't want to end up in prison or dead because of Marvin, and no doubt this is just the start of the cracks that are beginning to show in this family. Now we're going to come to all things Raquel and Detective Howard being the father to Kanan in a moment, but they were building up to this moment all episode. They started with the blood on Kanan's tissue at the beginning of the episode, and Kanan's naivety is showing again that he was thinking that it was Scrappy who leaked the location to the stash house. Jukebox clearly knows the truth, and she knows that it's Davina, and this is the key. But let's take it back a couple of scenes where Marvin mentioned that they need to find out who the snitch was, and Raquel said let me deal with that. Now Jukebox mentioned that Davina was a snitch who gave up the stash house in front of Juliana, who again showed us that she's been beat by her husband with the scars on her face, and this is how the information will get back to Raquel about Davina being the snitch. Juliana will definitely offer this information up to Raquel because favors are a way of ending up under someone's thumb, so she's gonna want something in return, and in return I'm sure she'll want her husband taken care of. This is something I've spoken about in my previous predictions video, that don't be surprised if Raquel was the one to find out about Davina being the snitch and not Kanan, and Raquel giving the order to Kanan to kill Davina as a way of testing him. She's always throwing tests at him and she's never going to stop testing him. I genuinely believe that this could be Kanan's next test. He wants to move up in the family business by learning how to cook and shit. That's all good, but the game ain't just about this. Sometimes you're going to have to get your hands dirty and sacrifice people that you love. And remember how on this channel we've been saying you ain't a real killer till you kill someone you love? Well, let's see if Kanan shows it. But this conversation between Jukebox and Kanan also revealed more things than one. She knows it was Davina who gave up the stash house, but it was also revealed that she knows more secrets about their family than Kanan knows. And I wonder what these secrets are, because I doubt she knows that Howard was Kanan's father. She knows some other shit, so I wonder what she knows. Now Detective Howard is dying, as we all know, which came as a bit of a surprise to me in the previous episodes. Now it all makes sense in terms of the storyline perspective. He was told by the doctor that his cousins weren't a match for his bone marrow transplant, and in other words, get your affairs in order because there's a slim chance they can find one. And this is where he sets about getting to meet Raquel and through the young little prince Kanan Stark. And this conversation revealed Def Con's real name, Rondell Def Con Stark. So if you were all wondering where Kanan gets the name Stark from, then there we have it. Because he as sure as shit wasn't going to take a cop's name Howard as his surname, even if he is Kanan's real father. But Howard tells Burke that sometimes when you want to get to the queen, you gotta go through the prince, and that's what he does by picking up Kanan after his fight with Scrappy. And this is where shit gets real interesting, because the conversation revealed everything we need to know about why Detective Howard holds a special cold dark heart for Raquel. It's because Def Con was sentenced in 1974 and Kanan was born in 1975. There were no conjugal visits between Raquel and Def Con, and Howard now knows that he was fucking her back then. So with him finding out that he is 15 years old, shit's starting to add up in his mind about who Kanan Stark really is. Now we all know that Detective Howard is dying and he needs a bone marrow transplant, and you can sure as bet that Kanan is going to be a direct match, but is he going to do it for a cop? Shit, we don't even know if he's going to take the news that his daddy is Detective Howard well. No wonder why Kanan hated them so much in the original Power and went out by taking 5 cops down too. And just like how Kanan convinced Tariq in his hallucinations that it should be him to be the one that kills his father, who's thinking what I'm thinking, with Kanan eventually being the one to take out his own father, Detective Howard. But of course this all leads to the conversation between Howard and Raquel, with a huge secret being revealed, which Raquel knew herself, and a secret that she's been keeping since 1975, that this is Kanan's real father. The real reason why she kept it a secret was to protect him, because she was fucking a cop, who was Howard. But all these secrets are now spilled in this conversation, and as I just mentioned, we all know where it's going to head with Howard's bone marrow transplant and Kanan being a match. And this is something I mentioned in this video here. I made this video a few weeks back, and the theory actually does turn out to be true. But elsewhere in the episode, we saw Jukebox suffer a real heartbreak for the first time when she got her time in the studio after Lulu did this guy a favor, and now he was under his thumb, who owed Lulu one back. But Jukebox's world come tumbling down real quick as she was left in tears being thrown out of Nicole's house, which is a foreshadow to what's to come with Marvin throwing her out at some point too. But this is where she went from Laverne to Jukebox real quick. The change in her facial expressions is something we've spoken about before, and she's about to turn savage in the last half of the season, you can bet she is. We also saw Kanan taking a liking to Symphony in this episode, both at his class and at the station, calling him instead of his uncles, and they do look like two characters who are going to strike up a bond and a relationship. But there we have it, that's the jaw-dropping moment that we've been all waiting for, and a huge twist. Detective Howard is Kanan Stark's father. So drop me all your thoughts down below, because I'll be back with my second video later this evening as usual. So drop all your thoughts down below in the comment section, and as usual I'll pick a few to discuss, and if you haven't done so already, remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 3 and Power Universe related over the coming months. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.